businesses. I sell lashes, I sell hair, I sell nails, and I'm an exotic dancer. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like what? Told my baby daddy in jail. Dear wandering eyes, it's time for another episode of Crystal preparing you for bullying so that I can stop it. Some might say that it's extremely offensive to yourself as an African to put all that padding in your butt, since Sarah Bartman, it wasn't her real name, was put on display in Zulus, who was straight from Africa. It's funny, some might say, that you are more than likely unable to read about the true history of the parade in New Orleans because of your inability to get your eyes to look at the same thing at once because they're running away from each other. Some might say, and I won't have that, not on my page. Some might say that you're offended, but only by the name, which was meant to connect African American people who are a lost people to a people of South Africa who we thought understood what it was like to be under an apartheid state, something we suffered, which was called Jim Crow, and that it was not made to make fun of Zulu people. It was made to mock racist white people. The blackface has nothing to do with y'all. Some might say this may be hard for you to understand because it would seem you probably have two brains for each eye because they're so spread apart on their journey to the sides of your head so you can look like some type of fish. And I don't want them to say that to you, but it is possible and you should be prepared. Some might say, why do you think that the skirts only apply to you? And I love my South African people. They call me Nwazi. I will never give up that love for y'all. But this is atrocious. The name Zulu was picked to connect to Africa, to honor you all, to have a connection between Africa, the closest country that understands our plight. And it has nothing to do with disrespecting y'all. Blackface was used to disrespect us African Americans, and they are mocking it. But I am so surprised by South African people accepting this. Black Americans have been through so much, ripped of our identity, our humanity, where we have formed our own here in America. But some traditions were made to connect back to Africa and to honor them. Why would we do a whole parade of mocking South African Zulu people? It doesn't even make sense. If you like, some might say, I can rope them eyes and pull them together so that you can see clearly that though it may be offensive to you, this was not the way to go about it. You're purposely trying to offend us, like your eyes are purposely trying to run away. Hambagashi. 10 out of fucking 2. One more thing. And because of all of this, I have booked my flight to New Orleans. And I will be going to look around and see what's up. Maybe I'll talk to some locals and get back to you. Because to have this so ready, this means that y'all were already having these thoughts towards us. And that really saddens me. I thought we had a connection. Of all the African countries that I've been mad about, it hasn't been South Africa. I even have a Casa scarf that was gifted to me. And I might not have my pronunciation right because of the clicks, but I honor that scarf. It was gifted to me by one of my friends who is South African, born and raised there. Y'all gave me the name Nwazi and an overwhelming consent to that name. So to see thousands of likes on her posts where she's picking cotton in slave attire, that really does hurt me. So 0 out of 10.
Wait. Okay, let me be calm now. Listen. That's not a way to honor Zulu people. It's not a way to honor Black South Africans. That's clear mockery. The proper way to honor Zulu people is to wear what they wear and honor them properly. That's not Zulu. That's mockery. That has nothing to do with Zulu. Do you know how history gets erased and the other people's cultures get erased? It starts with that. A parade. Call it something different, but that's not Zulu. And to gaslight us and saying what, meanwhile your people started this whole thing. And they are telling us that our culture is older. No. No. Please. Don't do that. No, I'm tired of people's behavior and so-called moralities. Meanwhile, you guys don't have any. It's so painfully boring if you think of it. You know? Even the way that you speak, it's annoying me. Please. Your people started this. You can't live in a glass house and then you throw stones. And you get surprised that people are throwing stones back at you. Like when you're throwing stones, we're throwing stones. Doesn't matter how painful it is. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. That's intention. You are hurting us. The fact that you guys don't realize that you hurt Zulu people is something else. You don't want to take into accountability that that is wrong. You want us to understand that that's your history. You need to understand that that's our history and it will not be rewritten by Americans. Regardless of how much you love South African but not. You need to understand the significance of what you have done. And this goes for my American followers as well. They need to understand this. And I'm going to post this layer by layer so that everybody gets to engage, right? It's going to be really long, and then I want us to engage in this. And I think as well she's going to be in, and I think we're going to have another piece of her. All right, let's see another piece of her, because they did go back and forth multiple times, right? But I'm going to take the important ones and then we're going to dissect it slowly by slowly.
Yo, I've been laughing at this video since yesterday, especially the way she starts it. She's like, well, hello there, wandering eyes. I've been laughing at it since yesterday because I've always said I have crooked eyes, like my eyes are not straight. And I always tell my friends, guys, now I don't like taking pictures because on pictures, it shows that my eyes are like... And then my friends always gaslight me like, no, Chomi, your eyes are fine, your eyes are fine, your eyes are fine. So it's really funny because I've always known, so I'm not offended by it. But from now on, I will start saying I have wandering eyes and not crooked eyes. Wandering eyes is a better terminology. And the same way that blackface is not offensive when a black person does it, I don't think it's offensive when an African stuffs pads into their ass to make it appear bigger. It is offensive when you're not African and you're injecting oils into your ass. Anyway, there wasn't really much to your video. It goes on for 4 minutes. You go in between talking about the Zulu parade, then you jump to my eyes again, then you jump onto a different topic, then we come back to my eyes again, then something else, then back to my eyes again. My eyes are giving you sleepless nights. But you know what? When they have nothing of substance to say, they'll come for your looks, or they'll try and curse you, because those are all the responses that I've been getting. Curses. Okay, this is the first one, body shaming me. I've been body shamed.
Well, don't dish out if you're not prepared to eat what you're dishing out. But anyways, I'm gonna stitch the rest of everyone else, and it goes back and forth, but people are adding out their opinions and everything else. My opinion will be done from this moment, and yeah, I feel like it's not gonna stop anytime soon. Yeah, see you in the next one.
Some might say that you have the teeth of a child that sucks their thumb, wide and barely contained behind those lips. I have a question for you. How slowly do you walk? Twins, some would say, and I'm not saying that though, because that's crazy work. Crazy work that would be needed to move your teeth into a normal position. Some might say, I know you're mad about the Zulu parade, and I understand. But others might say that it looks like your teeth are having a parade of their own. Maybe you should stop that parade with some metal braces. Some might say that punching your ass in the motherfucking mouth for making fun of slavery might do it for you. Not me though. I don't like those kind of comments. Some might say, can you go boop 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 boop?
My videos. I'm flattered knowing that I complain, could be responsible for a child in America having food on the table or be the reason that their mom can pay rent. I'm really flattered.
Some might be curious if the wide gap between your eyes that matches the great openness of your teeth runs in your family. Some might say that when you close your teeth together, there's a mile apart between the top row and the bottom row. Some might say that you're stuttering there because your lips hate to see them top teeth coming. They're saying they're supposed to be in your mouth. Why are they coming towards us? And I hate that. I'm going to stop that bullying if I ever see it. Some may point out your struggle braids and how if you wanted to get them done right, you should go to the people that made them. And of course, we didn't make the original box braids, Black American, but we made the ones that you're trying to emulate as you talk shit about black people. We worked on it while we were picking that cotton you think is funny. You went very far with your joke, as far as the distance between your eyes. But it's one thing that you forgot. Black Americans are known for roasting. There is no one that is better than us, as you can see. So take your wide-gapped dentures, your failed attempt at goddess braids, your floating eyes. Some might say, and remember that y'all were picking crops too. Remember that y'all went through apartheid just like we went through Jim Crow. So you're making fun of yourself. And this is all over something that you are getting completely incorrect about the Zulu parade. I can understand if you are offended by the name, but it was meant to form a connection to Africa. Blackface wasn't meant to insult you all. You seem to have as much European DNA as I do. It doesn't even make sense to make fun of y'all that way. We're making fun of white people. But you already had this thought process queued up. And I love my South African. The guppy here, as some might call her, out of line and insulting herself and all of South Africans when she does this. So her joke is on South Africans and Black Americans. But my jokes are on you, baby. I will acquiesce to your request in your video and tag you. I couldn't stitch the video where you were doing that, saying those things, but let me assure you that I have more money than you and your family combined. And my mother doesn't need help paying rent. She is a physician. And yes, we may have debt. When we buy our homes, we don't do it in cash. If our houses were as cheap as yours were, I could buy 30. And South Africans, I am Black American. A roast is a roast. There are no rules, and it is not to offend all of you. But if you take it that way, you take it that way. Because this, someone who should not be bullied, but remember, if you want to eat, fix them teeth so you can chew. That's why you're so skinny. You gotta drink insurers with a straw through them teeth. Stop sucking your thumb. Some might say, you can't win against a Black American on roasting. You gotta put on a whole performance and talk about some rent. I got a mortgage. And you may not understand this since your houses are so cheap, but my credit card is paid off every month, so I don't pay interest. And I have an Amex with no limit. That'll tell you who I am. And there's a lot of Black Americans like that. And who cares that we take and download your videos to make our own if they want to get some extra money? Isn't that what you're doing? Your videos are pathetic and boring. It's low-hanging fruit. Just like your eyes are low-hanging and droopy like a guppy. Some would say, and others would say, like me, 10 out of fucking 10.
Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. Lying that you're sexing me when everybody knows. It's clear that you're obsessed.
all week black Americans have been talking about South Africans as if they don't exist and don't have culture, and told them to shut the fuck up and mind their business. And then South Africans came back and started making Joe swinging harder on them, and now they're like, oh my god, our feelings, you can't talk about our culture. Baby, if you wasn't prepared to fight, don't swing. It's just that simple. If you can't handle what the fuck the fight is bringing, don't get beat the fuck up. Simple. And instead of being mad at South Africans for speaking up for their heritage and their culture, what you need to do is be mad at this motherfucking government for going into the Congo and telling those people, hey, we're only going to help you if you sign this documentation saying that we can mine for minerals, and then we'll give you protection from gangs that are taking young girls and selling them and raping them and killing them, murdering families. Y'all are so concerned about going to a fucking parade that you don't even know what's going on. Read a book and shut the fuck.
Alright, this is my 2 cents about the whole Zulu parade in New Orleans and the Zulu Nation, the South Africans going back and forth. I'm gonna be 100% honest. First of all, y'all not gonna put us all in the same fucking boat, okay? Them New Orleans niggas is different. They their own people, okay? Alright, so we not gonna put all black Americans in this shit, okay? I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been to Bourbon Street. I've never been down there. So I don't even know what the fuck was going on until I actually went and looked. I do know about the Zulu Nation, everything that takes place over there, because I've been trying to appropriate myself with the culture. To see the New Orleans shit, bruh, y'all got to be fucking kidding me. That shit look like a clown show. That shit look like a mockery. That shit like some shit they made y'all do when y'all was in slavery to put on a fucking show for them. That shit ain't appropriate. And I side with the South Africans on this one.
What I noticed about this whole thing is the fact that some Americans don't like being corrected on certain situations, because you have a whole tribe telling you you are appropriating their culture. And instead of taking this as a learning lesson, taking this as something to learn from, you turn around and say, we do not give a fuck about your culture. We've been doing this for decades. I feel like in this situation, we can't have peace because one side is right and the other side is American. You have people telling you you are appropriating our culture, and you're saying this has nothing to do with your culture, when the aspects of said parade are taken from the Zulu culture. Zulu people in South Africa are upset by the fact that their culture is being represented badly. They are also very upset at the fact that these Americans are not accepting the fact that this whole Zulu parade was literally taken from our culture. The aspects of the Zulu parade, everything that is, that makes this whole Zulu parade a Zulu parade, was taken from the Zulu culture from South Africa. Now, this whole thing is always going to be an issue because some people don't like being corrected. And if you don't like being corrected and you don't like being criticized, instead of taking that information and saying, okay, we need to do this, maybe we could do this to do this, maybe we could change this, y'all are literally arguing with said people that are calling out this behavior. And that's how I know we will not move forward in this situation. If the Americans think they're right and they won't take the criticism that is needed, this issue won't be solved. So honestly, I'm starting to think it's very pointless. The thing is, though, I find it very hypocritical that these are the same people that call out cultural appropriation whenever it hits. They get very angry when someone else misrepresents their culture. But when we point it out, all of a sudden it's a problem. There's not much I want to say except for that. Take it as a pinch of salt or don't take it at all. That's all I'm going to say.
Not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
I get, right? I get South Africans. Y'all really upset about that Zulu parade stuff in the South in America. I get that. So y'all clap back as making fun of the Atlantic slave trade? To my South Africans, right? Miss South Africa is white. Y'all need to focus more on that. They're trying to make fun of black Americans going through the Atlantic slave trade, respectfully.
Somebody asked me to talk about this whole Zulu parade in America, bruv. I didn't know shit about it until now, so I did a little bit of digging. So apparently, there is this parade that they've been doing for a very long time. It's called a Zulu parade. And African people, South Africans, because as you know, the Zulu tribe is in South Africa, they politely ask them to respect them because that's a disrespect to them and their culture. And there are some, let me say some, if you're not one of these Americans, keep quiet and listen. Some Americans who basically decided that they're going to ignore these people, say fuck off, and we're going to keep our parties anyways. And this is all I have to say to African people. Wherever in Africa you live, listen to what Shay has to say. You know how in the Bible it talks about how, God is very, very slow to anger, how he's such a patient God. I'm not telling you to be God because that's blasphemy. I'm telling you to mimic him. Be the exact same way. The same way God, you will be here doing your fuckery and God will give you 10, if not 20, if not 50, if not 100 years to keep doing your fuckery until one day he cracks, bruv. Be the exact same way. Be exactly like that and give them their time. Don't get angry. Don't say nothing. Keep watching them as they say and do their fuckery. Because right now, America is on their high horse. They think that they're untouchable. And they don't understand that, you see, war is inevitable. You see how America is behaving to the point where China, Japan, and South Korea have now band together. Even the British government is over here trying to control steel manufacturing because they're learning from World War II when there was a shortage of motherfucking steel. Russia will invade and war will start. And when war starts, they will need somewhere to go. And when that day comes, all you niggas have to do is remember every single time you asked them to respect you and they never did. They called you African booty scratchers. They were putting water in envelopes and cardboard boxes trying to post it to Africa. They came on here and disrespected your food and disrespected your culture and disrespected you. You asked them to stop labeling you as the Africans and they said fuck you and they keep doing it anyways. They went to Ghana and was twerking on Elmina Castle. Don't argue with them, nor do you try to educate them. You cannot educate the uneducatable. All you have to fucking do is remember all these things I told you on the day when them niggas are gonna need some form of refuge. And as you remember it, politely close your motherfucking borders. Good night.
So to my South Africans, love you. Beautiful people, rich in culture, huge hearts. Stop arguing with Black Americans from New Orleans. Stop. And to my Black Americans, stop arguing with people from fucking South Africa. Knock it off. Because I want y'all to get up and I want y'all to look around. Who do you see? Because I see a puppet master in the making here. You can't tell me otherwise. There was some kind of CIA agent that has tainted the pool, and now everybody fighting with each other. You got South Africans saying, well, we don't back down. Ask the Nigerians. I'm sorry. What the fuck is going on? Wake up. Wake the fuck up. Pissing me the fuck off. All of you. Stop this nonsense immediately. Look at who you're arguing with. It's disgusting. Look at yourselves. Both parties. Making fun of the other person. Oh, well, we're the least colonized. Well, we're the least colonized. Who the fuck cares? Both of y'all. And me included. My country. We've been colonized. Just like you. Because guess who's pushing this argument? It's the Europeans, bruh. Come on. Come on. We both must do better than that. I will never hate Africans. No matter what they say. Because I know at the end of the day, that's the colonizer speaking. That ain't you. Wake up. Us going back and forth, arguing with each other. How we look. How we think. Our history. Comparing it. There ain't no fucking comparison. There will never be a comparison. Because we're not the same. What's the common denominator with Africans and Americans? That's our enemy. Not each other. I don't want to see this shit anymore on my page. Unacceptable from both parties. Yes, I said both. I'm holding both people accountable. Knock it the fuck off. You got the Europeans and the Asians laughing their ass off. Watching us tear each other down to the bone. Because South Africans and Black Americans, especially from New Orleans, both ain't gonna back down. So what do you think we're going to have a war to prove who's better? Please, y'all. This is really breaking my fucking heart. We got to stop this shit today. I don't want to